Right, everybody, welcome to another edition of our Drive Time video calls, and I'm very happy to welcome, it's like a ready and raring to go, Dan Blake to the show. Dan, how you doing?
Hello, Ian. Hello, everyone. I get thank you yourself.
Not too bad, not too bad. Now, Dan, you look like you're either in your kitchen about to go driving or tucked away somewhere else. But Dan Blake, I know what you do in motorsport, but not everybody else does. So let me ask this question to you. Dan Blake, how are you involved in motorsport?
I race in the 5 Club MX5 Cup with 750 Motor Club. This season will be my second season with them. I also commentate on esports as well and race on the OC. I'm sat in my rig actually, so yeah, I'm in my man cave on my rig. I do a lot of iRacing, that sort of thing, and also I'm training to be. I eventually want to be a clerk of the course, so sort of getting involved bit behind the scenes as well and sort of learning a bit more about that side of things as well.
So motorsport's quite important to you then. So we've got esports, we've got your actual racing driver, and you sort of want to go into the clerk of the course side of things. That's I assume motorsport means a lot to you.
Yeah, it's really it's one of my main hobbies and passions. Really, it has been since a very young age. It's sort of something that once I had the bug, that was it. It was sort of motorsport all the way. So that's sort of where we are now. I'm sort of enjoying my racing, enjoy everything about it really at the moment. So
we've got a lot to talk about then, but let's start with 5 Club MX5, shall we? Why the Mazdas?
I raced in front wheel drive for a few years before. I raced in the Hyundai Coupe Cup. I think that's championship that you all sort of know about. Yeah, raced with John Winter and Adam Nose for a good 3-4 years, and then decided that I wanted to try something a bit different. And the MX5 stood out as something which was something I could get along with. Sort of rear wheel drive suits my driving style maybe a little bit better than the front wheel drive car did. I was constantly struggling with understeer and that, and I just thought I'll try the MX5 and see how it was. And for the moment I stepped in the car, I knew straight away that it sort of suited my driving style. I don't think the Hyundai's was. I think it's probably more a driving style thing than sort of the actual car itself, which is the way I drove the car and that sort of thing. It's sort of it made perfect match with the MX5, and in 2018 did a few rounds in the Track Attack Nippon Challenge and actually ended up winning being the winner of my class that season. So
congratulations!
Went sort of straight into the MX5. Thank you very much. So I sort of went into there, took my class in Nippon Challenge, and then went into the big bad world of MX5 racing. So very interesting. Certainly the first few races were a baptism of fire, and you got like 30 of them around you, and sort of great fun though, and I really enjoy racing in 5 Club. It's a great set of people. I got Alan Robson, the championship coordinator, runs the shit very well. There's got a lot of people helping him out, and it's a really good championship to be involved in. And also 750 Motor Club as a club, I've got some very helpful people there, and they're sort of it's a very good place to be racing at the moment.
Fantastic, and obviously we're due to be with you as well this season, which we're very, very excited about. So let's stick with on-track action at the minute. Dan, where's your favourite track to go racing at? Which track suits you, or you get butterflies in your stomach when you go up to it?
I think my 2 favourite tracks are my 2 local ones. Obviously Castle Combe. I love Castle Combe and Thruxton. They're sort of my 2 favourite. They're sort of more quicker tracks. I like this sort of tracks where you got to have maybe a bit of a guts about you as well, especially sort of going up to Corrie at Castle Combe or going around church at Thruxton. Although I did get bitten quite hard at church one year, but that's a story for another question, I think.
Well, it will come to that. Yeah, don't you worry about that, mate. All right then, Dan. So look, you and me, we're at let's say we're at Castle Combe, for example. You got 10 laps around Castle Combe in any car, past, present, road car, race car. What are you taking around for 10 laps?
Ginetta G50. I know it's one of the older Ginettas, but my team manager Rob Gaffney had one for a few years, and I just sort of the sound of the engine, it just sort of very. Even though it's one of the older Ginettas, I think a Ginetta G50 is probably my dream race car. Even there's sort of the newer G55, sort of other things as well.
Brilliant. Yeah.
It's just something about the G50 that's like maybe think, I want to drive that car, and sort of still now.
I'd love
to have a chance to have a little pop around in the G50.
Straight in. You know the answer straight away. Good man. That's what I like. Now, look, Dan, let's talk iRacing at the minute, because it's a big deal at the minute, is iRacing. Obviously, we can't go sort of road racing, so everybody's iRacing. Now, you've been involved for a while, I believe, and you're pretty good, aren't you?
I'm not one of the best, but I'm not
Show
one of the
off
worst
a bit,
either.
Dan. Show off a bit.
Yeah, I've been doing it for nearly 8 years now, so I've got a lot of experience, and really that's sort of where my racing career began, really. So I went on iRacing, and then I was on there for a couple of years, and then that's when I first thought, oh, I might be able to do this, or go out and do it in real life. So I pretty much went straight from sim racing to the Hyundai Coupe Cup. So
Brilliant.
there was no real karting or anything like that. It was literally straight from iRacing into a Hyundai.
So what?
Yeah.
What was the first game that got you hooked on iRacing then?
I used to do quite a bit of sort of offline racing, like your Forza and that sort of thing. But I think online iRacing was really the first one I delved into. And just where you can race there's quite a few of the 5 Club guys who I think have recently signed up as well, like Ben Hansey and Jordan Johnson. There's a few of them who've signed up, and there's also a championship going where people from the 750 Motor Club are racing in. So we're sort of having our own little club championships now as well on there, and it's becoming, especially now we can't do the real racing, it's sort of a bit of socialising, and also we're all getting out racing, and even that's been broadcast as well. So even though there's no real racing, there's still the broadcast happening, and people are still being able to race and sort of get their names out there, which is really good.
It's become huge and big business at the minute as well, which is understandable. Now, look, Dan, you touched on something a little bit earlier. I'm going to ask you a question about your most embarrassing moment. Now, this can be actually in trackside. It could be in the car racing. It can even be iRacing. What have you done that you looked at and thought, oh no, what did I do that for?
Not having an 18-ounce steak or 24-ounce steak at Snetton last year. We went to this steakhouse, and there was like Ben Hansey, Jordan Johnson, Ben Short, and they all went for the big boy steak, and I went for a medium steak, and then Jordan Johnson went out and got pole despite the cow trying to attack him halfway through the session. But yeah, I think that is my biggest regret of last season, definitely, is not having one of those big steaks.
Absolutely, I could vouch for that.
Also, yeah, another one I had was at Thruxton. I was racing in the Production Touring Car Championship in 2016. I lost control of the car going through which I think was Goodwood. The one before Church, the long right-hander. I've lost it. I've gone into the barrier quite hard. And then as I've tried to jump over the barrier to sort of get over to the marshals, I've ended up pretty much face planting the tyre barrier. Luckily, there's no fans over that side of the side of the track. Yeah, I literally just jumped up and completely missed the barrier, so that's quite amusing.
Well, I'm pleased to say, Dan, there might not have been any spectators there to witness it, but you've just told everybody now on this video. So you're in for a bit of stick now, mate.
I probably will be, yeah.
Look, Dan, I'll let you go in a minute. I know you're a busy man, but just quickly, if somebody wants to find out more about 5 Club MX5, how do they go about that?
If you go on Facebook and look for 5 Club Racing, you'll find our page. We're trying to keep people as entertained as possible over the enforced break. We're putting some highlights on about X races. We're putting the highlights and putting highlights on, and we're doing the sort of driver previews for the upcoming season, so you can see who we're going to have racing with us. We've got a lot of things going on as well.
And we're going to be doing this with a lot of the drivers as well, aren't we? Which is
exactly. I've got a lot of drivers interested in helping out and being interviewed, which is also very good as well. We've also got something we're going to start pretty shortly, where we'll go back and have a look at the tracks we visited, who's got the fastest laps around there, that record, sort of race results, and we've had some quite notable drivers racing in 5 Club over the years as well, so it'd be interesting to sort of go back through the archives really and sort of have a bit of a history lesson in some ways. So we're trying our hardest to keep people entertained and get their fix of 5 Club, yeah.
Brilliant. And one final question, Dan, probably the most important question you'll be asked all day. If you were a biscuit, what biscuit would you be and why?
Jammy Dodger. Some of the situations I've got involved in, like the one you just see a car spinning in front of you, and you just like, Yeah, I've had some pretty couple of jamming moments I've been racing where I've just had to make a second decision and I made the right one and just thought, how have I done that? So my first race win as well at Thruxton 2015 in the Coupe Cup. I was racing hard with the series principal John Winter, and he's gone into the final chicane and lost it and spun it around and just like driving past, sort of like, oh, I feel quite lucky now. But yeah, sort of like been a few things where sort of I've had a bit of luck in my racing career. Sort of even getting there was pretty, considering my background. I didn't do any sort of MSA karting, didn't do any karting really whatsoever. I did a couple of rounds of PUKC at uni, and that was a few years ago. I just sort of went for the sim racing, and yeah, I just feel lucky to be racing in general, really, to be able to do something I've always dreamed about doing as a youngster.
Good man.
So yeah, I just feel pretty dummy in general when it comes to motorsport. Yeah.
Fantastic. Look, it's great to have you on the show, Dan. It's a pleasure talking, and I can't wait to see you trackside with the 5 Club MX5 a little bit later in the year. It will happen. We will go racing at some point. So, Dan Blake.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We will. Thank you so much for your time, Dan.
That's okay. Thank you very much, and we look forward to you joining us this season.